Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Lions going up against the Giants. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Now a first down throw. Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They go back to Riddick. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there for Detroit. 45 yards. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Riddick with a carry. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. First carry for Amir Abdullah. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space. They try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll look to throw here. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I know coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that that was really true here. This one felt like all of a sudden, hey, I have a feeling about let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And ready now for 2nd and 9. Again, it's Murray. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. So a 3rd and 8. Now Manning. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
The Giants defense working their way back onto the field now. Uses the stiff arm. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Akeem Ayers coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
In his 5th year from Appalachian State, it's Sam Martin on to punt. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Back near the goal line. Here's Manning. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run the counter with Murray. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They go with Murray again. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, that catch just gives us another reason to praise Odell Beckham Jr. Off to an incredible start to his NFL career.
3 Pro Bowls, 3 straight Pro Bowls, obviously, and first Giant to do that in more than 50 years, Charles.
And how about the numbers that he's put up also? 1,300 or more yards and 10 or more touchdowns in each of those 3 seasons.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Manning. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
And Detroit getting set to go now. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Riddick. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now Riddick. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Manning able to find OBJ there for a Giants 1st down. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this 1st half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Throwing on 1st down is Manning. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
And the penalty now makes it 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Manning. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Murray. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd and long, it's Manning. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Manning will try again on 2nd down. Right back for Marshall. This time it's complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a play fake. Manning. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, that's the Kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise. Because we know, OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. Again, they'll throw with Manning. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Third and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Play action. Manning. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Second down following the run. To throw, it's Manning. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And it's 3rd and short.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
One thing I do know about DeMarco Murray, he loves to pile up carries. You know, a lot of backs are concerned about how many they have. Not him. He wants the ball all the time. But so far in this game, that's not working too well, and this team's losing.
He's had a decent chunk of carries. He just hasn't had much success when he's gotten them. Those carries. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready. Ready for their first possession of the second half. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
No gain on the play there, second down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I know it's a cliche, and coaches always talk about it's a team game. We need all 11 to win. But let's face it, Detroit really needs Amir Abdullah to have runs like that all season long.
Missed a lot of time with injuries, especially recently. Now, Theo Riddick wound up leading the Lions in rushing last year with just 357 yards. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On first down, Abdullah. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a third down. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And Abdullah lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
First throw for the backup, Davis Webb. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 30 yards there. first down, it's Webb. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Second down now after the incompletion. Off the bootleg. Webb. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun, it's Webb. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Paul Warlow in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Following the penalty, Abdullah. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave them with a 2nd and just 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down. Get to the 4th quarter. Try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Damon Harrison in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Green, 39. Over. Here we go now. Green.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Webb. It's caught by OBJ. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st and 10, Webb. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing again. Webb over the middle. He's got his tight end Ingram. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
10th carry of the game now. Murray. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Let's go.
Off the bootleg. Webb. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
On the run, Abdullah. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking it in the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Time for a break. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Beckham, the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Davis Webb going to lead the offense back onto the field. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right.
And it caught it up. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Lions on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On 3rd down, Abdullah. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board.
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And that one is his 2nd fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
The Lions on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Lions, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From MetLife Stadium, good night, everybody.